Hi again, Derek. Thank you for coming in again. I know you mentioned about what happened yesterday, so if you could elaborate more on what happened yesterday.
Uh, Yesterday, we kind of bumped heads with a coworker. We started the day out very. We started the day out really well. Everybody was happy. Everybody was in a good mood. Everything was just perfect, right? Then he comes in. As soon as he comes in, he's saying something negative about something that happened the day before, which was already squashed and taken care of by by the big boss. Everything was, he already spoke to who he needs to speak to and addressed the problem, and it was already taken care of.
And how did you handle that situation? Like what made him tick you off?
His, you know, he when he when we were crossing paths, he said something to me. He, you know, if I recall, he goes, "You better make sure nobody's, you know, riding a bike in here or doing something they're not supposed to be doing here." And I was like, "Why would you tell me something? What are you talking about?" I asked him, "What are you talking about?" He goes, What happened yesterday? What happened yesterday was already taken care of.
Okay.
Why are you mentioning it again today? You know what I mean? Is that is that the first thing you're gonna say when you come in here instead of good morning, people? This and that. And then he kept on talking about some, and then I was starting to walk away, but then he insisted that he talks to me about whatever he's saying. I
Okay.
want you to understand. I want you to understand. I'm like, there's nothing to understand.
Was that the first time that happened between you and the other coworker?
Oh yeah, he's never crossed me like that before. We joke around with each other and stuff. And but I've already noticed certain certain ways certain ways he speaks to people, or
Can you give me an example of these
like
others?
he could be very insensitive, or his joke is really out of place, and he might, or what I gather, he might not mean to be that way,
Okay.
but his English is not. It's remedial.
Okay.
So so what comes out of his mouth and what he actually means is sometimes could be two totally different things.
Okay. That's
And when
understandable.
he said it with so much confidence, like he really means it.
Do you
You
think
know,
others feel the way you feel?
with me, if they don't know him the way I know him, they would think that he was trying to offend them, or what he's saying is what he means.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And with me, I know his English is not great, so I always take that extra step to say, well, what do you really mean? Are you trying to tell me this? No, no, no. He'll tell me no, no.
Oh, so
But
you give
anyway,
them options like,
yeah.
did you mean this or did you mean
Are you
this?
telling me that this, or like? And I'm like for example, I just found out from a recent conversation that a client's husband was offended because he greeted the wife, you know, that she was his sister from another mother,
Mm.
right? And he's very comfortable saying that. It's like one of the things he says a lot to everybody.
Yeah.
Like you're my sister from another mother, my brother from another mother, another father, whatever. But if you're gonna literally define that, that would mean my mother was a hoe or your mother was a hoe.
Yeah.
Either or. Somebody's mother was a hoe. That's what that's gonna come out to if you're gonna be literal about it, right? But yesterday he insisted that he's gonna push his issue, and I just, for some reason, it tipped me. It also caught me off guard because I didn't realize I would get affected that much. But I just had to tell him, you know.
And plus, you're so close with him, and you guys joke around
Yeah,
a lot with
and
each other.
he decided to pull his. I guess it was time. I guess the time came where he had to know where he stands with me. That don't get too comfortable. You know,
Oh, that's right.
you better remember that where I come from, where you are at, what I'm trying to do for my life, where you are at. You know, you're content being where you're at for till the day you retire.
So you're saying that he's too comfortable
He's
where
just
he's
too
at.
comfortable. He's too comfortable doing what he's not supposed to be doing.
So you're saying if he wasn't comfortable, then he wouldn't be treating people and talking to people the way he is now.
Yeah, he has to be professional.
Okay.
Nothing about his. It's okay to be comfortably. You can be professional and comfortable at the same time in the workplace. You know, there's a certain way you're supposed to handle yourself in the workplace.
So how did you handle yourself when he tipped you off? What did you do? What is the first thing
I
you
was
told yourself to
I
do?
told myself no matter what I'm gonna come out on the better half of this. You know,
Wow.
I'm not gonna let him get the best of me because if he succeeds and blows me up, I go to jail for sure, for sure. No questions about it. And it would just that would hamper everything that I've been working so hard for, right? I mean, I already have things to worry about, you know. I got things that I'm hoping would turn out really good. It could turn the other way around, you know. But for now, where I'm at, I'm actually, my progress is doing really well. Everything is good. And this guy is just gonna like, dude, for you're talking to somebody that's happy to be here, even though I'm not getting paid to be here.
Right.
Because it's working for me. You know, it's working for me in other
And
ways.
that's what is important. Your
right?
treatment first.
And here you are. You're coming here hardly not doing shit and you're getting paid. You know? Do you honestly feel, yesterday I wanted to tell him to his face and I just didn't, I was still my my logical thinking was still there, where I'm biting my tongue to not say hurtful things that he will never forget. Because I really wanted to tell him, do you really, I want to ask him, do you really think you're earning the money that you're getting paid for here?
Wow.
Because, dude, you don't know what you're doing around here. You know what I mean? What you're spending a lot of time doing is pissing yourself off, pissing us off, right? Is that part of your job description? Because if there's anything that's going to be in your job description, is to maintain a serene workplace in this kind of branch, But you're the instigator around here. You're the fuel to the fire around here most of the time. And by this time, I told him to his face in front of Terry, in front of, I said, hey, I want you to know, just to let you know, you're not the boss here. And you never will be.
Okay. What did
Okay?
he say? What was
Nothing.
it?
He wasn't saying that. You are not the boss here. Okay? And just so that you know, everything I do, believe me, goes by the boss before I do it. That's called covering my own ass. So if anybody's having a fucking bad day and decides to go off on me, I can simply say, the boss said I could do it. Then what? Don't bitch at me, bitch at the boss. You know what I mean? You got a problem? Go to the boss. Right?
That's a strength how you recognize what you're able to handle versus what you can't.
And I was like, but I felt that I didn't raise my voice and I didn't cuss at him. Those are two things. Because I maintained respect.
And you remember you went to the kitchen and you started doing your
and
own
I
thing.
that's how I released my thing. I just
Scrub that hard.
decided to just general clean the kitchen since I'm the only one that's in there, It would have double
Could you say that you're
rewind.
much more in control of your anger management now than before?
Oh, very, very. And even before, I seldom ever really lose my temper.
Wow,
I mean, it
that's
could
really
be
great.
years. And the